Hello everyone. Well, this is the third and final set of videos that I'm going to make from the Tokyo Treat box of candy and snacks that I got, and I've thoroughly enjoyed. This video is going to be about the types of candies and snacks that you actually create and put together. So I have this one, and I have this one, and then finally I have this one, which is much more complicated. This one involves using the microwave, and I will save it till last. I think I'll start with this one since it's the simplest, and then we'll move up in complexity. So I'm going to carefully open the side or the top here. Okay. Because I want to preserve the instructions here on the back. Even if they are mostly in Japanese, or all in Japanese, I need the pictures to help me. I'm going to put that up here. And what we have is this container, and a spoon, and some packages. And I've brought some water. Now this gets separated. Pull that off. Push down the plastic there. Let me open this one. And here we have all of the powders we're going to use. 1, 2, and 3. And here's our spoon. And here's our little watering cup. So the first thing we do is we're going to pour in package number 1. And I'm glad I brought my knife with me. Okay. And here's our spoon ready, and then I believe it says to use 1 of these scoops of water. So let me fill it up here. There we go. I'm going to fill it up right to the brim so that's exactly how much we need. Pour it into there. And stir it up. It's quite thick. It's almost like a dough. smells very grape-like. It's very nice. Okay. Now we pour in package number 2. It looks like just straight sugar. Now it's turning pink. It's getting a lot thicker. It's like a foam now, even though it's very thick. It's like puffing up. It's got some blue streaks still with the pink. And we're almost done. We have one final package. The bright green number 3. And these get poured into here. These look suspiciously like Pop Rocks. So, the instructions are pretty straightforward. You get a glob of this on your spoon, like that. You dip it into the candy, and you eat it. They're not Pop Rocks. They're just regular crystallized sugar candy. They don't really have a flavor in and of themselves. All of the flavor is over here. But it is very, very sweet. I'm going to try this just by itself. It's a little bit of a tingly, like carbonation on your tongue. I don't know if you can hear it, but it still has some of the granulized sugar in it. It's crunching in my teeth. This will be my last one of these because I have 2 more to make. And I don't want to give myself diabetes all in one sitting. It tastes like you would expect a kid's candy to taste. Vaguely grapey, vaguely fruity, lots and lots of sugar, and just a little chemically tasty, but I think that's to be expected. So this is such an interesting texture here with this foam. You can stick your spoon in it and it will stay upright. That's how thick it is. So that was pretty simple, pretty straightforward, just mixing some water and some powders together. So now let's move on to a slightly more complicated one. Here's the next one. It actually looks like it's going to be pretty similar, but with just some chocolate and other things added. Again, we will cut the top off. I wish I could read all of these little things here. Looks like each one of these has a name, and they're saying things. But alas, it is all lost on me, because I cannot read Japanese. Okay. So same as before, we have some packets. We have some candies. We have some little stickers. Those are quite cute. And we have some cookies here that looks like they got kind of shattered on the trip. Here is my measuring cup. These are labeled one and two, and we have these without a number. So let's see. We start out with our large well here, and I assume we're putting 1 cup of a little scoop of water in, just like we did before. Mixing it with 1 and then putting 2, just like we did before. It makes a foam. This we pour in here and mix up. Doesn't look like we put any water with it. I can't read anything else that we're supposed to do with it. And then we have our candies. So let's try it. Here's number 1. Get it all in here. Now, it is the same thing we did before. Pour in the water and stir it up. It's a little more runny than the last one. And we'll put in number 2. And I think we'll know what is going to happen. Nice and foamy. Very similar to the last one. And lastly, we have these. which is another powder. So I'm going to assume that we put 1 scoop in, because I don't know another way to do it. Clean off the spoon. Mix in the powder. It's made like a chocolate sauce. Now for our candies. And our wafers. It's quite a little snack here, isn't it? So, there are several different ways they say you can enjoy this. This must be each one of these characters' favorite ways. Here we have the foam on the cracker. We have the foam dipped in chocolate. Here we have the foam on the cracker with the chocolate, with the candies. And here we just have the foam and the candies. So if you like your options, this is the kit to get. It's actually a nice little chocolate sauce. Okay, so let's start with the foam, which we pretty much already know what it tastes like. So I will not eat it by itself. Let's dip it in some chocolate. It kind of looks appealing. I'm going to taste one of these by itself. They're little pieces of rice. So we can decorate our little concoction here. And now let's try it. Interesting. This is so sweet that it really overpowers the chocolate flavor almost completely. If I hadn't tasted that before, I would not have even known that there was chocolate in that bite. Let's try one of these little crackers here. That's kind of nice. Cracker with some chocolate. We'll pick up some little rice things here. Very nice. Again, this is so powerful. I really don't like it. This is not bad. Okay, well, ready for the chocolate sauce. Now let's move on to our third kit to put together. Okay, now on to the last kit and the most complicated one. This has all kinds of writing on it, which I cannot read. They're the same little foamy characters, but here I can at least have an indication of where to open it. And we have another bag. So I'm going to set this up to the side here so I can read the instructions. And these seem to have some dotted lines with some scissors. So I will try to follow those dotted lines. Like that. And let's see what we have here. A big container. And there's another dotted line right here. So here's a little like pizza box. I don't know that I will put that together, but I think I need this circle. And let's see what we have here. Big packages. Lots of different packages. Okay. And we have a little cup. We have quite a large scoop. And we have various containers. Now, we need to get our scissors again. We're cutting that apart. And we're cutting this apart, and we're cutting this apart. Okay. They had these really high walls on them because they had to contain all of the packages. I think we're interested mostly in just the shallower areas. So now, looking here at the instructions, they have the packages color-coded, which is nice. Seems like we're going to start with the orange one. Because we have this here. And orange. Then we'll move to the brown one next. This has some markings of 1, 2, and 3. I'm not sure what those are all about. Then it looks like the green one is next. It's pretty simple. So let's get started. First thing, we're going to mix the orange together. Pour this into this large container. Quite a bit of powder. Okay. Now here is our measurement of water, and we are to put 2 scoops in. 1, 2. Looks like you're spilling it out the side. That's not good. I think we need just a smidgen more water. It's a very lumpy dough. I don't think it's supposed to be like that. Seems to be a problem. Now we're getting somewhere. Needed just a little more water. That was all. Okay. So I apologize if that was kind of gross to you guys. But we got there in the end. So now this goes into here. I've made a mess, haven't I? You want to squish it down flat. Just like this. Totally down flat. And now we can go put it in the microwave. I'll be right back. Okay, so I microwaved this for about 30 seconds. And I'm going to tip it out here. And I'm supposed to use my little spatula here to cut these into 4 little cakes. It doesn't smell sweet, so this is not a candy. This is almost like a cornbread. Okay. Well, that's interesting. It smells kind of nice. So let's lay these here. And let's move on to our next thing. It should be the dough to our pizza. Okay, now let's get our water scoop, and we're going to scoop out one, two, let's see where that takes us, two. That's working pretty well, and I'm realizing the fact that this took two and is working is confirming the fact that I kind of messed up. These things were supposed to be the dough for the pizza, and this is supposed to be the corn or the potato cakes. Which is why these are so large, because that's supposed to be enough dough to make two little pizzas. But that's okay. They both need to be heated up. So I will just make one pizza, hopefully, out of this. It will just have a different type of crust than it was supposed to. So we spread this out. Kind of form the edges here a little bit. I don't think I'm going to make it all the way to the outside edge of this. If I could read Japanese, I probably wouldn't have done this mistake, but that's okay. Okay. That's fine. We'll just have one really good piece. Move that off to the side. And now we are on to what I believe is some sort of sauce. We also have this. This is next. This is the cheese. We're mixing it in this small little container. getting our scoop. One scoop of water. And we mix it up. Definitely smells cheesy. It's becoming very thick. Very, very thick. Okay. Now we're supposed to put that onto here to save it for when we need to make our pizza. There we go. Which I believe is the red. So, assuming this is the pizza sauce, okay. And this takes 2 scoops of water. 1, 2. Very strong tomato smell. Okay. Now, it wants me to very carefully cut diagonally that way. Pour out yet another package of powder, which I think I'm getting quite good at. And once again, 2 scoops of water. 1, 2, and mix it together. I guess this could be considered meat sauce, I'm not sure. I don't know how much actual protein it has. Okay, gathered it up. Now we are cutting the top off of this. going to scoop this back inside this container. Be very careful not to squeeze it too much. So we're going to push this down. So it's going to come right out that hole. And we fold this over. And we have like a little pastry bag. So we'll hold that there as well. So now we have our pizza dough, which was mistakenly made from our potato. We have our little squares here, which were mistakenly made from the pizza dough. We have the cheese, we have the sauce, and we have the meat. I'm not sure what the purple is. I am looking for a purple package. This may be the soda, because I believe these are the veggies that go on top of the pizza. I think we solved our mystery. Okay, so now we only have one shot at this because we messed up our dough, but that's okay. Take some pizza sauce. Since we have plenty, since we're only making one pizza, we don't have to be skimpy. It's a slight tomatoey flavor to it. The cheese is set up to a nice little, almost mozzarella-like consistency, which is really interesting. I'm not sure if they just actually dehydrate cheese or this is completely 100% chemicals. And I probably don't want to know. Finally, we have some meat sauce, which is looking really disgusting. So we're going to place it in amongst the cheese. Our very small pizza. Okay. Now, let's see what we have here. Let's open this up a bit more. A little green and yellow vegetables? Not quite sure. Okay. Now I'm going to go carry this to microwave, and I'll be right back. Okay, so returned from the microwave. Cheese melted. The meat kind of turned into little pieces of sausage. We're going to let that cool for a second while we get our little soda drink together. So it says to fill it up, not quite full, like to about right there. Okay, that looks about right. Pour in the powder. You can hear it fizz. It smells like grape. And I think we're ready to have a cozy meal. It's only slightly mixed up from what it was supposed to be. So first of all, I'm going to try these pizza dough cakes. This is definitely not candy, which is a relief to me. I was expecting it to be kind of a candy version of pizza. This is actually a dough that's been baked, or at least cooked in the microwave. It's not a bad taste. Slightly sweet. Actually, it's kind of a substantial wheat-like taste to it. Let me cut my pizza here. A little slice. Let's see what it tastes like. It's actually kind of nice. Surprised. The flavors go well together. Even if it is on the potato dough instead of the regular dough. I have to say it's pretty tasty. So I'm surprised at it. It doesn't taste super chemically. It is a little bit, but not nearly as much as I thought. And each one of these ingredients is a fairly close approximation of its actual, what it's actually supposed to be. A little bit of carbonation to it. Tastes like grape juice. This is actually pretty cool.